Hello YouTube, welcome to another video and welcome to my channel, The Art of Perfumery. Today I'm going to bring you the review of one of the most iconic fragrances of all times. Today I bring you the review of Spicebomb from the house of Viktor Rolf. This is actually the second men's release from the house of Viktor Rolf, right after Untitled. This fragrance is really nice and it comes in a very clever presentation. As you can see, the name of the fragrance is Spicebomb and the bottle has the shape of a hand grenade. Really cool idea. The bottle has the shape of a bomb. Even the stopper, it looks like the pin used to detonate the grenade. But don't worry, I'm going to remove the pin. It's just a bottle, right? Don't worry about it. You have got to be kidding me. Now, what can I say about Spicebomb? This is one of the few designer scents that I learned how to appreciate it even more over time. Why is that? Because as the time goes by, I can see what the designer perfumery had become. Most of them are pretty much generic copycats of best-selling fragrances that you see around. This fragrance actually stood the time and it's very unique to my nose. Now you're probably thinking, but Mark, I know quite a few fragrances that smells quite like Spicebomb. It has the same vibe, it has a smell very close. Yep, there are a few fragrances around that will remind you of Spicebomb, but you have to understand that this was actually released in 2012 and back then this thing was actually very unique, and to my nose it's still very unique to some point because I never came across any other fragrance that delivers me the same spicy goodness that Spicebomb delivers. It's pretty addicting actually, this fragrance. The batch that I'm going to review today was produced in 2017, so as you can see it's already reformulated, which is very good because this review is going to be very close to what you're going to find in the market today. This is a reformulated fragrance and I'm going to tell you what changed if we compare this to the older batch. Okay, let's go to the notes because I'm going to dive right into the review. At the top we have big pepper, LME, bergamot and grapefruit. In the middle we have cinnamon, saffron and chili, and in the base we have tobacco, leather and vetiver. Now I'm going to apply the fragrance. You keep an eye on the distribution, which is very nice. Take a look. Very, very good and heavy distribution. Take a look. It releases a lot of juice. Really, really nice distribution. What an opening of this fragrance. The opening of this fragrance is pure magic. What do I get in this opening? I get a blast of citrus with a ton of spices. Right off the bat, citrus and spices. Very beautiful, very unique. The bergamot and the grapefruit bring some sweet, some fruity, some sharpness to the composition, and oh my god, bergamot and grapefruit, they blend so well together in this composition. They also blend very well with some more resinous vibe that comes from the LME. The three notes blends very well. Bergamot, grapefruit and the LME in this opening. And like I said, in this opening I get also a ton of spices as well. I got pink pepper and chili, but I want to highlight now the two spices that jump right off my skin the most, which is cinnamon and saffron. I get a lot of cinnamon, I get a lot of saffron in this composition. The cinnamon of this fragrance, it's a bit sweet and it's so cozy, so comfortable to wear. It brings me some coziness, some comfort and also some sexiness as well. Cinnamon is a very sexy note because it brings some warmth to the composition as well. Also the saffron jumps right off my skin as well. The saffron actually brings some more oriental, some Middle Eastern, some like spice market vibe to the composition. The first 10 minutes of this fragrance is beautiful, it's amazing because it's a mix of this fresh and invigorating vibe with this Middle Eastern, this oriental vibe. It's very beautiful, very unique indeed. After 10 minutes, the citrus go to the background and the spices, the tobacco, the leather comes to the surface, but I have to say I got hooked with this fragrance since the first time I smelled it because of the combination of tobacco, cinnamon and saffron, which is pure beauty. It's almost addictive. After 10 minutes, this fragrance transforms into a spicy delight. Now the fragrance is a mix of tobacco, cinnamon, and saffron with a touch of leather. The leather is going to look for its way out to the surface. It's not quite there yet, but it will turn into a leather scent later on the dry down. All of that is sweetened by this LME that brings some resinous vibe to the composition. It's really nice. Nothing in this fragrance is overpowering. The fragrance is actually very well balanced. The notes don't run over each other. The fragrance is sweet indeed, but it's not overly sweet. It's actually a very well-rounded, a very well-balanced scent. In the dry down, the scent captures with perfection some things that I love in this fragrance. First of all, it captures the fall because of this mix of leather and tobacco. It brings warmth, it brings coziness to the composition, and also captures to me holiday spirit, especially with this mixed cinnamon and saffron, because to me it smells like a Christmas market, it smells like a Christmas kitchen. It's inviting, it's uplifting. And like I said before, this fragrance was reformulated. Indeed, it lost a bit of the oomph, it lost a bit of the strength, it's a bit watered down, and it lost a bit of performance. Now, if you compare this fragrance to the previous formula, but believe it or not, this fragrance is still a great scent and it still has a very good performance on my skin as well. So it's still worth it for sure. Deep in the dry down, after about 1 hour or so, the leather finally will jump to the surface and we'll enjoy the tobacco note. And the spice bomb will turn into a kind of leather tobacco spicy scent, which is really nice. It's really what I like the most in this fragrance, when the leather jumps to the surface and join the tobacco as well. And the fragrance actually, in the dry down at the very end of its life, it starts to get a bit creamier. That's because of the coumarin, because this fragrance also contains coumarin. It brings some vanilla-like smell and creaminess to the composition. And the fragrance finally ends its life with this spicy cinnamon saffron with a bit of a creaminess that comes from this coumarin, and it ends its life slightly sweet as well. Beautiful fragrance for sure. Well, this was my review. Now we go for the ratings of Spice Bomb. And we are now down to the ratings of Spice Bomb. We start with the presentation. Like I said, this is a very clever presentation. I really like the bottle. The bottle is a beauty, and the bottle, as you can see, is very well built as well. So I give it a 10 out of 10 for this presentation because it's beautiful and it's also clever. We go now for versatility. We go for seasons. Well, this I would say is more recommended for fall and winter, but because this formula it's a little bit more watered down, so I would say I'm gonna add spring as well. So it's good for spring, fall, and winter. But spring, please don't overspray because it's still a very potent, a very strong scent. We go now for occasions. What kind of occasions I would wear this scent? This smells very casual to my nose. I wouldn't wear this scent on a formal situation because this is very playful. It's fun to wear. It's perfect for nightwear. If you are planning going out or clubbing, this is a perfect scent. It's perfect for dates. This is a perfect date scent because it has this sex appeal that comes from this warm cinnamon. It's very cozy. It's very nice. It's perfect for holidays because it brings this holiday feel due to these spices, especially the cinnamon and also the saffron. It's beautiful for this kind of scenario. We go now for performance. How does this perform? The projection is still very good on my skin, even though this is the reformulated fragrance. My skin is very good for fragrances, and this actually projects for 3 hours on my skin, which is very good, and the longevity is 10 plus hours, which is still very good. Nothing to complain. The previous formulation was even better. I go 14, 15, 16 hours, but this is still performing very well on my skin, so it's still very well worth it to get this scent nowadays. And now we go for the smell. How does this thing smell? I give to the smell a 9 out of 10 because it smells that good. It's a really good smell, this scent. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching my video. If you like, please don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, for more videos. And don't forget that I am Mark Lacerda. and I see you in the next video.